Match is over, and while Aryna Sabalenka escaped with a 6-2, 7-6-6 victory over Rebeka Masarova in Berlin, the scoreline tells only half the story. What we witnessed was a world number one struggling against a player ranked 112th, squandering multiple match points and showing alarming vulnerabilities just weeks before Wimbledon. This wasn't dominance, this was survival.
When you're the world number one facing a qualifier ranked outside the top 100, certain expectations exist. Sabalenka's performance raises serious questions about her grass court preparation and mental state following the French Open defeat. The second set collapse and inability to close out the match efficiently suggest deeper issues than just rust on the surface.
I've analyzed hundreds of matches, and this performance from Sabalenka is concerning on multiple levels. Against a player of Masarova's ranking, the world number one should be wrapping this up in under 90 minutes. Instead, we saw a grinding two-set battle that exposed tactical and mental weaknesses that elite grass court players will absolutely exploit.
Today we're dissecting what this Berlin performance reveals about Sabalenka's readiness for the grass court season. From the tactical struggles to the mental fragility, from the missed opportunities to the concerning patterns, this match might be a warning sign that the world number one isn't as prepared for Wimbledon as many assumed. Let's start with the expectations. Rebeka Masarova entered this match ranked 112th in the world. She's a qualifier who had never faced Sabalenka before. The betting odds had Sabalenka at 1.136, essentially a 90% chance of victory. Yet what unfolded was far from the routine win everyone expected.
The first set scoreline of 6-2 looks comfortable, but the underlying numbers tell a different story. Masarova held 6 break points in that opening set, 3 at 2-0 and 3 more at 4-2. A player ranked 112th shouldn't be creating that many opportunities against the world number one, even on an unfamiliar surface.
Then came the second set, where the wheels nearly came off completely. After the overnight suspension, Sabalenka was immediately broken to start the set. She found herself down 3-1, then 4-2, against a player she should be dominating. This isn't rust, this is a fundamental struggle with grass court tennis.
The match resumption after the suspension revealed everything wrong with Sabalenka's approach. She came out flat, immediately gave up her serve, and looked completely out of rhythm. Elite players use overnight breaks to reset and refocus. Instead, Sabalenka looked like she'd lost all momentum and confidence from the previous day.
Perhaps most concerning was how the match ended. Sabalenka had multiple opportunities to close it out, but couldn't execute. She squandered 2 match points before finally winning when Masarova hit a simple mid-court forehand into the net. The world number one didn't win this match, her opponent lost it.
That ending is particularly troubling from a psychological perspective. When you can't convert match points against a player ranked 80+ spots below you, it reveals anxiety and pressure management issues. On grass courts, where margins are smaller and points are shorter, this mental fragility could be devastating against elite opponents.
Let's examine Masarova's path to this match, because it provides crucial context. She's ranked 112th, came through qualifying, and had beaten Sofia Kenin to reach this round. This isn't a player in peak form or confidence. She's a journeywoman having a decent week, yet she pushed the world number one to the brink.
Masarova's recent grass court record is mediocre at best. She's 6-2 this season, but with limited high-level competition. For Sabalenka to struggle this much against someone with that profile suggests her grass court game is nowhere near where it needs to be for Wimbledon's success. This should have been target practice.
Timing makes this performance even more concerning. This was Sabalenka's first match since the crushing French Open final defeat to Coco Gauff. Instead of showing resilience and determination, she looked mentally fragile and tactically confused against far inferior opposition.
The French Open loss clearly affected her more than anticipated. Champions typically use setbacks as motivation, but Sabalenka's Berlin performance suggests she's still processing that defeat. The lack of killer instinct against Masarova indicates the confidence damage from losing to Gauff runs deeper than expected.
Tactically, this match exposed several concerning patterns. Sabalenka's serve, usually her most reliable weapon, looked inconsistent. Her movement on grass appeared uncomfortable, and her shot selection in crucial moments was questionable. These aren't issues you want 3 weeks before Wimbledon.
Grass court tennis is about adaptation and comfort on an unforgiving surface. Sabalenka looked anything but comfortable out there. Her heavy topspin style, which dominates on hard courts and clay, seemed to work against her on the low-bouncing grass. That's a fundamental technical issue that won't be solved in 3 weeks.
Match statistics paint an even bleaker picture. Against a player ranked 112th, Sabalenka needed a tiebreak to win the second set and required nearly 2.5 hours total across 2 days to secure victory. Compare that to how other top players handle similar opposition. It's not even close.
Elite players typically use early round matches against lower-ranked opponents to build confidence and fine-tune their games. Instead, Sabalenka's performance will have done the opposite, creating doubt and highlighting weaknesses. That's the last thing you want in your grass court preparation.
Looking ahead to her potential opponents, this performance becomes even more alarming. Elena Rybakina and Katerina Siniakova are both far superior grass court players to Masarova. If Sabalenka struggled this much against a qualifier, what happens when she faces genuine grass court threats?
Rybakina in particular will have watched this match with great interest. She's the 2022 Wimbledon champion who thrives on grass courts. If Sabalenka can't impose her game on Masarova, Rybakina will absolutely punish these same weaknesses. The technical and tactical gaps are glaring.
Broader context makes this concerning performance even more significant. Sabalenka has never won a grass court title. Her best Wimbledon result is the semifinals. This Berlin showing suggests she's not on track to break through at the sport's most prestigious grass court event.
Grass court success requires specific skills and mindset that we didn't see today. The quick decision-making, the aggressive net approaches, the comfort with lower bounces, none of that was evident in her play against Masarova. These aren't details you can master in the remaining preparation time.
Mental aspect might be the most concerning. Champions are supposed to show ruthlessness against inferior opposition. Instead, Sabalenka looked tentative, anxious, and unable to impose her will on a match she should have controlled from start to finish.
That mental fragility will be magnified tenfold at Wimbledon. The pressure, the expectations, the unique demands of the surface. If she can't handle Masarova in Berlin, how will she respond when facing Gauff, Swiatek, or Rybakina on center court with a Grand Slam title on the line?
Perhaps most damaging is how this performance fits into the larger narrative of Sabalenka's season. The French Open collapse, the controversial comments, the Berlin drama, and now this struggling victory. It paints a picture of a player whose confidence and focus are wavering at the worst possible time.
Champions use adversity to grow stronger. What we're seeing from Sabalenka is the opposite pattern. Each setback seems to compound the previous one. The French Open loss affected her mindset, which showed in the Berlin controversy, which now appears to have impacted her on-court performance as well.
Grass court season is unforgiving. There are limited opportunities to find form, and Wimbledon approaches quickly. Based on this Berlin performance, Sabalenka faces serious questions about whether she can adapt her game and mindset quickly enough to be a genuine contender.
The reality is that this match should have been routine preparation for bigger challenges ahead. Instead, it became a revealing struggle that exposed tactical, technical, and mental weaknesses. Those issues don't magically disappear, they get magnified under greater pressure.
For Sabalenka to succeed at Wimbledon, she needs to show dramatic improvement in her remaining preparation matches. The technical adjustments, the tactical awareness, the mental toughness, all of it needs upgrading quickly. This Berlin performance was a warning that time is running out.
Dr. Mitchell Marcus, thank you for this analysis. What we've seen in Berlin is deeply concerning for Sabalenka's Wimbledon prospects. A world number one who struggles for over 2 hours against a qualifier ranked 112th, who squanders multiple match points, and who shows fundamental discomfort on grass courts 3 weeks before the sport's most prestigious grass court tournament. This episode was brought to you by Unstruct AI, where we analyze the deeper stories behind the scores. Today we've examined how Sabalenka's Berlin struggle against Rebeka Masarova revealed alarming weaknesses in her grass court preparation. From the 6 break points conceded in the first set to the immediate break of serve after resumption. From the inability to close out match points to the overall tactical confusion, this wasn't the performance of a Wimbledon favorite when you're ranked number 1 in the world and need a tiebreak to defeat a player ranked 112th. It raises fundamental questions about readiness, confidence, and adaptation, with Wimbledon just 3 weeks away. Sabalenka faces a race against time to address technical issues that typically require months to resolve. The French Open defeat clearly damaged her confidence more than anticipated, and this Berlin performance suggests those mental scars are affecting her on-court execution. Champions are defined by how they respond to adversity. Sabalenka's recent pattern shows each setback compounding the previous one rather than building resilience. Sometimes the most revealing matches aren't the dramatic upsets or classic battles, they're the routine victories that expose hidden weaknesses. Berlin was supposed to be the start of Sabalenka's grass court redemption story. Instead, became a concerning chapter that raises serious doubts about her Wimbledon prospects. The clock is ticking, and the evidence suggests she's running out of time. Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe for analysis that goes beyond the obvious narratives to examine what the performances really reveal about player readiness and future prospects.